Now the slow, deliberate steps that may amount to one giant leap. A man in France, paralyzed from the shoulders down, is now able to walk using a robotic suit controlled by his mind.
Oh yes, most of us are hopelessly attached to our cell phones. And now Hollywood is making light of our phone obsession with a new comedy called Jexi.
It's about a guy whose new phone has an artificial intelligence program that takes over his life.
Uh-oh.
Hello, my name is Jexi, and I am here to make your life better.
Oh, look at that. That's cool.
I control your email and bank accounts. No one puts baby in a corner.
Why are you doing this to me?
I am programmed to make your life better.
She's trying to kill me.
4 years ago, this man was paralyzed in a fall. Even today, his spinal cord is too badly damaged to transmit signals from his brain to his limbs. And yet he can walk by using the power of the mind and a 65-kilo exoskeleton. The road ahead may be long, but every journey begins with a single step.
Our first stop, Silicon Valley in California. Apple, Google, and Facebook all have their headquarters here. It's the epicenter of the digital revolution. The tech industry has changed the face of the San Francisco Bay Area. New startup companies launch every day. Rents have exploded, and artificial intelligence is the buzzword. A new type of supermarket recently opened its doors here. Amazon Go. All you need here is an app.
Since you have an Amazon account already, you can use the same credentials.
Hold your mobile phone to the scanner, and you're in. As Leonardo shows me Amazon's new menus and explains that the language assistant Alexa can help with the preparation at home, I'm under constant surveillance. Which shelf do I stop at? Which products am I interested in? On the ceiling, sensors and cameras. Intelligent image recognition captures my every move. What do I take off the shelf? What do I put back? And what do I take with me? This branch is still in its test phase, but Amazon plans to open 50 such grocery stores this year alone. The end of the sales assistant. Just walk out. No more standing in line. No cashiers. I feel a bit like a shoplifter as I leave. Comfort at the cost of privacy.
And speaking of mind control, is that Facebook's next potential step? I mean, they seem to be getting into just about everything else. After the most recent acquisition, some people are now starting to think it's almost heading in that direction, right?
Insiders say this could be one of Facebook's most substantial acquisitions within the last 5 years. The flagship product of Control Labs is a wristband that measures neuron activity to transmit it into computer input. While the device doesn't read your mind, it decodes electrical impulses from muscle fibers. It then moves and translates them into a digital signal your device can understand. Control Labs co-founder Thomas Reardon says the goal is to explore new interactions and to exploit powers you already have.
The question at Control Labs is not how do we make our devices more capable? It's how do we ourselves become more capable? Neural interfaces are the root solution to this problem.
Bosworth says technology like this has the potential to open up new creative possibilities and reimagine 19th century inventions in a 21st century world. Ultimately, he believes it'll change the way we connect.
This robot just introduced itself as an android created to speak freely. Erica is the world's first cyborg-type robot developed to help you around the house. The Japanese roboticist behind the machine says the technology gets a bad rap because of Hollywood films.
I cannot believe this. Why, the Hollywood hate the robots so much, and Hollywood want to destroy this world with a robot so many times. It seems crazy.
To him, the relationship between humans and technology is a natural one. Ishiguro says recent breakthroughs in robots and artificial intelligence will accelerate the synthesis of human and machine. It's unclear what the actual dangers of this technology are. Robots are widely used in Japan, but not all of them look like us. While only a handful of people are looking to fine-tune technology that could blur the line between human and machine, it's likely to become more than mere science fiction sooner than we think.
These robots aren't assembling cars, they're the big attraction in Beijing's latest smart restaurant. AI in the kitchen and automated waiters. I have a meeting here with the design researcher Gesche Just. A former internet ambassador for the German government, she's currently spending a research semester at Tongji University in Shanghai. I ask her about her impressions of China.
They aren't just robots serving the food, the whole kitchen is digitized. Refrigeration is monitored, supply chains are monitored, there are dashboards for everything. Everything is connected here, where they're testing what works and which aspects can be implemented in other restaurants of this chain.
But what about privacy?
There's seen to be a trade-off between security and privacy. You often hear how AI has increased public safety, for instance, that the ubiquitous surveillance cameras have dramatically increased the crime-solving rate. It's hard for us to relate to because privacy and personal rights are so important for Germans. But here there's a different tradition and take on the issue.
It seems sometimes the best stories, they just kind of tell themselves, don't they? Here's another one. Have you heard about this new robot that seems to be able to jump and spin and do things that most human beings can't even do? Well, it's getting a lot of buzz online. The video's gone viral showing what may be the future of robots.
It's called Atlas, and it was developed by the tech company Boston Dynamics. The robot stands 4 foot 9 inches and weighs 176 pounds, but it has the agility and nimbleness of a professional gymnast, rolling, jumping, and spinning. The video posted September 24th and already has more than 3 million views. Boston Dynamics is known for creating robots that mimic humans and animals, like Spot here. Cool, but also kind of creepy. This video from 2016 shows an older version of Atlas marching through snowy woods. Just imagine hundreds or thousands of them. One YouTube user describes a fictitious conversation going like this. Boston Dynamics employee, "Hey pal, how are you today?" Atlas, "I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle." Sound familiar?
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
For now, Atlas doesn't ride a motorcycle or wear clothes. It also doesn't have the artificial skin that some companies are already in the process of developing for robots. But that's for a later story. To quote the Terminator, "I'll be back."
That is something. Remember, we program robots.
By the way, I can't stop. I'm a big sports fan. So on weekends, I like to watch my Minnesota Twins or Miami Dolphins or whatever. I like to watch sports. Every commercial is about artificial intelligence. It's coming. It's going to be great. It's going to make your life wonderful. I think about you all the time when I see those commercials. They're everywhere.
Artificial intelligence programs itself. And the first thing artificial intelligence wants to do is to figure you out. And whenever we talk about robots, whether it's sex robots or war robots, we're not talking about something that we are in control of anymore. Now, the next part, once these are armed, let's go back in time. One of the worst things that ever happened in warfare was the use of the longbow. Because it was the first time that man separated himself from mano a mano. I'm looking at you in the eye and I'm stabbing you and I'm smelling you when we're fighting. And once I distance myself from my enemy, I lose the impact of what I'm doing. You're not the same. I can divorce myself. I've shot the arrow, I don't have to see
It's almost
anymore.
cowardly, right?
It's called artillery. It's called bombing. It's called warfare.
I'm fascinated by China, but it also puzzles me. How can they be reconciled? The high civilization of ancient China and the modern industrial state, with surveillance cameras everywhere. The Longgang district in Shenzhen. In the heart of China's booming economic region north of Hong Kong, we visit the Smart City Control Center. So is Shenzhen currently healthy or sick? A smart surveillance system scans the entire city. Illegal structures, like this one on a roof, are quickly identified and demolished. To me, some of this feels like the backdrop to a science fiction movie. Employees with live streaming body cams inspect side streets. This is total surveillance. Chen shows me how cameras installed in restaurant kitchens even keep tabs on cleanliness. But doesn't the chef mind being monitored all the time?
The system logs all the people who view the images. Anyone who looks at them without permission is punished.
Total transparency for the purpose of progress. Chen says residents of Longgang District approve. Jaywalking is not allowed, and offenders are immediately identified. Look here. You jaywalk once, and right away your social credit score drops. This degree of surveillance is unthinkable in the West. But here in China, they take a different view and say it's driven a drop in crime. What does it say here?
Male youth without glasses.
Youth?
Yes, suddenly you're a youth.
I love Chinese facial recognition. Youth. A transparent society in the interest of efficiency. Some of this appears useful, but do we really want to measure, control, and analyze everything just because it's technically possible? Won't that inevitably lead us down a road to data dictatorship? Given big tech's monopoly power, calls for regulation are growing louder in Washington.
When you have a monopoly, whether it's over retail, whether it's over search, then it means that the public doesn't actually have the ability to understand how that information is being used, how that power is being used. Monopoly per se, unless it is regulated closely by the public, is a danger. Google means to take over the world. They mean to direct our thoughts between person and person, our communications between person and person, our dealings in business between person and corporation. They mean to direct everything that they can. They want to know what's going on in our thermostats in our houses. They want to know what we're watching on TV. They are at a level of hubris that even the Stalinists could never have imagined pushing for.
I will need the passwords to all of your accounts.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Stupid.
Huh?